with Reigns and Heyman. But there's no denying.
Yo, YouTube, what is up? Radar 25 back here with my co-host, Michael Futamania.
What up, Mox?
Guys, Payback just finished. A nice, quick, good,
Loved it.
good timed, well-paced pay-per-view. It started at 7 p.m., ended at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Just
wonderful. Easy to get through. It wasn't a 7-hour trough where you're like sludging through it like, oh my God, what's ever gonna end?
This felt like it was 1991. It was just like a good little Saturday night's main event. You know, just good show, quick. It was like lovely. Love it.
I mean, they should really probably, since they're not making any money off pay-per-view anymore, it should go back to the in-your-house type setup where like they had those in-betweeners that were like $25 or $19.95 instead of the $25.30 for the main.
I like, and it's just 2 hours. It's short of 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Keep it nice and
you can't overbook yourself at that point. Yeah, you can't overbook it. Like at that point, there's less matches. You can't really overbook anything. But guys.
Leave the big, like the 3 hour, 4 hour show. So Mania, maybe a SummerSlam, Survivor, like
the big
Royal
four.
Rumble.
You could do
the big four. Yeah, the big four. Just keep it. But like this is perfect. Like 7 o'clock. It's 9:30. I have the rest of my night for myself. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But guys, we're dropping our recap and review of WWE Payback 2020. We had the triple threat match with the return of the big dog, the big Oos, Roman Reigns, heel Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. We had Lashley going up against Apollo Crews for the U.S. title. We had Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax going against the Golden Role Models for the women's tag team titles. We had Keith Lee in his first pay-per-view match, along with Matt Riddle in his first pay-per-view match in his own right. Matt Riddle was taking on Baron Corbin, and Keith Lee taking on the Viper, Randy Orton. We got a lot to get into. You know, when we rate these matches, we always pick a random, sometimes obscure, sometimes well-known enhancement talent over the years. And since we had last week's SummerSlam and we picked Barry Horowitz because he's a well-known guy and it's a big four pay-per-view, and then a week later we have another pay-per-view that we have to drop and give our recap and review to, we are picking none other than the Mulkey Brothers.
Mulkey, baby. Hot tagging it, baby. Give me a hot tag. Give me the hot tag.
We're giving these two enhancement NWA tag team wrestlers, since this is back-to-back pay-per-views 2 weeks in a row, we're going to give you two enhancement talents. So that's the rating system. So everybody on this show, the men and the women, fought their heart out, gave it their all, tried their best to earn a Mulkey brother. So we're going to give you two Mulkey brothers. If somebody gets four Mulkey brothers, I mean, you know, what more can you ask for? It kind of counts for 8.
Yeah, it kind of counts for 8. You know, I mean, hey, these guys, I'm sure took a beating from the Road Warriors, like in their heyday. Took a doomsday device, just like super jacked, both hawk and animal. So these guys deserve it. They deserve their moment in the sun.
They do.
Here it is today.
Big time stuff. We're using the Mulkey Brothers as a rating system. All right, guys. So without further ado, jump into the video. Before we do it, I remind you guys to drop a like on this video and the previous videos, like the SmackDown video that dropped. Check out that top 5 tag team video that dropped a couple weeks ago. If you're watching the channel and not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Really would appreciate it. Like and share it around. Let people know about the videos. Hit the notification bell so you guys are alerted when new videos drop. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, follow the Twitch for my live streams. And without further ado, I get right into it, a recap and review of Payback 2020. And the first match was the kickoff show match. It was the Iconx versus the Riott Squad. Not much here, not much of a match. It was kind of sloppy at points and stuff like that. But it's just really a match based around, you know, getting the Riott Squad going, getting them back together in full force. And you know, they were really emotional after the match, hugging and stuff like that. So they won. And that's pretty much all this match was meant to do. Now, maybe they go eventually for the tag team titles. We could see that. I think it's just good for them to form another tag team, even at the expense of the Iconics. But, you know, they had their shots, you know, against Sasha and Bayley and also against Alexa and Nikki Cross. So they've had their shots. Let's bring a new tag team in, form a new tag team, build them up. So this is all this was. This right here is going to get half a Mulkey Brothers, just half of one.
Yeah, this match was pretty bad. I didn't enjoy it. This is like back in the day where you would have like a double main event, and this would be in between the main event, so people can just like get their popcorn, go to the bathroom, do what they had to do. This was that match. It was you know, the pre-show, whatever. Yeah, this gets half a Mulkey Brothers. This was really just, it did nothing for me. Hopefully one of these tag teams, I'm sure that the Riott Squad will now end up going towards the tag team titles, and hopefully they make it, like you said, a division. But you know, it just wasn't good.
The more of these tag teams they need, because the division is pretty weak, and it's just kind of like put together. It's like patchwork division. So the more they have, that's what this match was for, is really building up Riott Squad as a legitimate tag team. They're back. Happy to see it. That's all this match was.
It's the most 2020 division ever. It's just like a fucking every day is a new mess.
Exactly. Yeah. Next thing, first match on the official card, U.S. Championship match. The champion Apollo Crews going against Bobby Lashley. I enjoyed this match. I thought this was like a lot of good feats of strength. I like the fire shown from Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
He had a couple nice German suplexes. One of the last German suplexes, he was kind of tired, so he kind of threw him sideways rather than like over his head.
And it's Bobby Lashley's a big guy, man. That guy's like at least 200 pounds.
Yeah, he picked up a big feat of strength. He picked up Apollo Crews and kind of held him up there and flipped him around for the Dominator. It was real big stuff. Yeah, no stuff. A lot of, jabbering back and forth from MVP and Shelton Benjamin on the outside. At one point, MVP was getting kind of pissed off at Lashley, like, come on, let's do this, let's get this done. So I did like it, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, people may be surprised because they think Apollo hasn't had a title for long enough. But an interesting thing to note, they said that Apollo says he needs to keep this title because he doesn't know what he is without it. He doesn't want to be obscure and mediocre like he was before, so he needs to win this. So it's an interesting story arc right there. Now Lashley is your new United States champion, puts the full Lashley, I'm sorry, and gets the tap out win. So he's your new champion. Big celebration. A funny thing that happened. MVP tells the camera guy to take pictures of this, and then he takes the pictures and they kind of just snap on the screen
instantly.
But then Apollo Crews, like I said, I like this fire in the match. He comes back and attacks Lashley afterwards and screams out, I'm getting that title back. So I thought it was good stuff from Apollo Crews. Now it's interesting to see how he becomes without the title there. Be interesting to see. But if I had to give this match a rating, I'd give this one 1.5 Monkey Brothers.
This match was good. I enjoyed it. I thought there was good fire. Like you said, there was good athletic feats and strength, showing that strength from both guys. It was way better than the MVP match from last week. I thought this was good. I thought the whole flow of the match was great. I like the fact that Apollo lost for a couple of reasons. Just you need to keep the Hurt Business strong and meaningful, and they're called the Hurt Business, so they got to create some hurt. So this is exactly what they needed. Bobby Lashley needs to be a monster. He was a monster. Made him tap out. And it's always good when we can get behind the babyface that's working from underneath and trying to get climb the ladder and get back to where he needs to be. He can get over stronger that way than being the champion, where he's fighting his way and all obstacles are in his way. I mean, that's how Stone Cold Steve Austin became one of the greatest of all time. Missing man through every obstacle in his way not to be champion, and he became champion. So that's what creates a big star. So I don't mind that at all of him losing. Who's ever upset about he didn't have it long enough, get over it. This is a better way. He had the belt. He needs to get it back. I like it.
And I think it's better for him to chase and fight through the whole Hurt Business.
Yes, exactly. Fight the whole business, Shelton, whatever he needs to do. But it'll create it that much sweeter when he gets it back. He will get it back. They're pushing him. So just for that reason, I'm giving it 2 Monkey Brothers. I know it's a little high. I know it's not. I don't want to cheapen these ratings, but I just like the fact that Bobby won the match. I like the heels being dicks at the end and him having that fire at the end and knocking Bobby out. I liked it. So I'm gonna give it 2. We'll meet in the middle and we'll say it's just like a 1.5. We'll just go 1.5 on it. But
1.5, yeah.
1.5 Monkey Brothers. But no, good. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I'm excited. Shout out to Apollo Crews. Shout out to Bobby Lashley for getting a title. And Hurt Business needs to be built. It needs to be built because it's been so stop and start. They've had good nights. They've had bad nights. They've had good and bad nights at the same time. So
24/7 title back and forth in the same night. Like, no, just you got to keep them strong. Got to keep them hurting people. Got to keep them business
big time. And it's better to see a babyface and Apollo show fire and fight through that whole group to try to get this championship back. So good stuff there. Next match on the show, another very solid match. Big E versus Sheamus. This was a hard hitting. Anything with Sheamus hard hitting, right? He's very snug in the ring. But I want to address one thing that I find kind of funny. He came out, Sheamus' entrance, he comes out to the ring. Then they go to a backstage, pre-taped of Sheamus talking about Big E. And for some reason, when he's backstage, he has his hands taped up. In the ring, he doesn't. What's the point, Sheamus? I don't get it. I don't understand. And he needs to come.
I saw the same thing.
His entrance needs to be with the weird hat and the weird jacket too, and the
suspenders. And just change the gear up and come out that way.
Come out that way and wrestle like that.
You've had the same green and black shorts for fucking 15 or 12 years. Just change it up and go with the.
He really only changed it up with the bar, but when he's in singles, he's been like that. But I wouldn't have a problem with him coming out with a suspender look and just wrestling like that.
Even in pay-per-view, just like a meaningful match. Like, this is a meaningful match. You're going against Big E. Why not? do
Yeah,
it.
but this was a very, very solid, hard-hitting match. A lot of emotion. So the play here was just to show how passionate Big E is about this singles run.
Yeah.
And about being taken seriously and about building himself to get that title shot. And he says that he's building it, legitimizing himself as a singles to get that championship opportunity. A lot of fire shown from him in this match. And obviously you're gonna see a lot of feats of strength between both guys. Two big guys. The spot where Sheamus, grabs and puts Big E and kind of carries him like that in the Alabama Slam, try to get him positioned right, and then slams him. It was a big time feat of strength there. But Big E continues his hot streak, and he wins this match, defeats Sheamus, and talks a lot of stuff to Corey Graves afterwards, telling him to tell his people that he's legit, he's here, he's real, he's passionate, and he's coming, and he's building himself up to win a championship. So I'm very excited about Big E and where he's going to go on from here and his singles run. And you kind of feel like proud of him, right? Like at this point, because you've seen him for so many years, and then it's his run with the New Day and him getting a nice legitimate run.
I mean, not even like let's go all the way back to when he came in. He was Dolph's like hot, like he was his bodyguard. He was like his Diesel. He was heat, and like now he's he started with the New Day. We see him. Remember his time going against Rusev, going for the U.S. Championship and like defending that stuff. Like that was he's been around a good 7-8 years. Like he's put in his dues. It's good to see where he's at right now.
Yeah, it's really good. So you should feel proud of Big E because like you've seen him such a long time. It's one of those guys you see for a long time. He's finally getting like Kofi, exactly with Kofi. You saw Kofi for a long time. 100%. You were extremely proud of Kofi when he won the title. You were like happy for him and everything like that. Yeah. They seem like genuine guys, but very, very solid match. And he comes out saying that Corey Graves afterwards, preach to the people, I'm ready, all that stuff like that. So you really feel it coming in from him. Sheamus, he's the guy that right now, it's not his time right now to really make a run at anything. So he's just going to be there for a while, feud with a couple guys, be a foil here and there. But, this doesn't hurt Sheamus, I don't think, in any way. Sheamus has been there forever.
He's reached a level where it's like, he's like, whatever. Like he's believable no matter what. Like,
And if he gets the title run, eventually, he eventually does. I mean, Sheamus has always been a guy you got to respect and appreciate his skill set and how long he's been there. 100%. But, just very, very solid match. I'm going to give this one 2 Mulkey brothers for this match.
Yeah, I'm giving it 2 Mulkey brothers as well. I thought it was a good match. I thought both guys did what they had to do. They're doing a nice job of slowly booking Big E and just creating a star. He's already a star, but like a championship quality star. So they're doing that. And Kofi Big E can do it all. Like the man is hilarious. He's genuinely hilarious. Like he's been the funniest guy in the business for a while now. He can cut a promo.
A really funny guy, yeah.
It's just hysterical. Like the way he moves and just he does these little subtle things that just are hysterical. He's entertaining as all hell. He comes off as like just a sweet human being and just like a genuinely nice dude. When you hear him in interviews in the back or on the podcast, the New Day podcast, he's just a guy that just comes off as a genuinely good dude. And you want to see people like that succeed and have good things happen in their life. So just that, and the match was great. He did what he had to do. I'm giving it also 2. It wasn't anything, to break the bank or this is, shoot him to the top. It's a slow burn. I like it. This will be months and months of working him in there, building his character of what he's going to be as a single star. And I like that. We're here for the ride. Let's just enjoy it. The longer they wait, I'm not saying they're going to wait 3 years, but like if they wait a good amount of time, it'll mean that much more and be that much more special when he finally becomes the champion that he will be because he deserves to be it. So I'm going to give it 2 Mulkey brothers.
I do think that he needs to become like a mid-tier champion first and then go on. I mean, he's been one before. I don't know if you want to jump him straight like 6-8 month run and he jumps straight to a world title picture.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Like if you tell me by Royal Rumble time, maybe he's winning the Royal Rumble or whatever. He wins a match to win either Universal or WWE champion, wherever he's at, wherever. But I think that's the proper way to do it. Let's build him slow. We don't need to rush it. Don't rush it. You already got whatever going on with the championship title now. Just don't rush it. Just let's let him grow into what his single star. We don't know what exactly he is yet as a single star. What his character is, what he's doing. Just slowly. Let's build it. Everybody wants to rush everything nowadays. Let's just slowly build it, man. Let's enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you wholeheartedly about that. Shout out to Big E and shout out to Sheamus for being around such a long time, being such a respected and hardworking guy. Next match on the show, it's the feud that we don't really care too much about. Matt Riddle versus King Corbin. I I don't know. It's just the whole thing. Like, no shot against Keith Corbin. He's hateable, so he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
he's a hateable guy. He's got an entrance now where they bring him on a big ass throne, which they should have just done that from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, it makes more sense that way. But whatever. I mean, you know, there was a lot going on here. None of it all that great. The match was what it was. You know, I don't know. Before the match, you know, they had an interview with Matt Riddle, and you know, the interviewer told him about a tweet that Baron Corbin said put out. He's going to show, you know, Baron Corbin's going to show Matt Riddle's a failure as a wrestler, and we already know he's a failure at home. You know, alluding to some of the issues that came out about him, you know, previously about his personal life. So obviously that tried to show, like, I don't know, if you're going to come out with something like that. Riddle made his entrance upset, but then he kind of just went to his normal shtick of, you know, the bro. Yeah. So I don't know about that, you know, dynamic. They should have just kept him serious the whole time. But in match, he's always very serious, always very fired up, and always doing his thing, always throwing a lot of, you know, good kicks, good striking from you know, Corbin in this match. Even Michael Cole alluded to him, you know, one of the best strikers in WWE, a former Golden Glove champion. So I mean, that stuff helps out. You know, it makes it a little bit more like realistic and stuff like that. But you know, Matt Riddle does come out with the win here. His first pay-per-view win in his first pay-per-view match. I don't know, you know, if this ends the feud or not. We'll see what happens. You know, Corbin during the match said he's like, forget about the bounty, he'll do it himself. So obviously the bounty was useless, pointless. Nobody ever got it. No, there was never a sum to the bounty. If it would have been better, somebody would have tried to got the bounty
and only Shorty G was anybody that ever tried to even get the bounty. So
yeah, it's the only one guy, so it didn't even last that long. But it was a good, solid, physical match. You know, it's just, you know, it was physical, but not as physical as the match before. But it was still solid. It was just the storyline behind this, nothing, you know, great. Good job by Corbin selling and stuff like that. But you know, for the most part, it was what it was. I give it one Mookie brother.
This whole feud, like, it was hard to get behind. No one really cared. I mean, it's not in anybody. It's just like the whole premise and the whole feel behind it. It didn't work. It's gonna take some work to get Riddle over as a star right now. I mean, it's gonna take another couple of, you know, feuds, or like they had to book him right. Like, the booking wasn't great, and this is his first really prominent rivalry with somebody. So it didn't work. Let's face it, it didn't work. I'm not blaming anybody. It's just, it didn't work. Hopefully, you know, we like Riddle. Riddle can go in the ring. Riddle's a fun little, you know, for his style of what his character is, he does a good job of being like a low-key surfer, stoner dude. And that's what he is. And that's cool. But we need a better feud. We need something to get more behind, something that's more intriguing, more involved in a storyline that, you know, we can see him being viable to be IC champion or whatever going forward. So they need to step it up. Like, his next booking can be really important of who his next rivalry is, or how this Corbin thing, if it's over, whatever, we go from here. Because you can lose a guy. We've seen before, NXT guys come up and like they stink it up in their first few and they just disappear. Yeah, and, you know, they just go into and they end up in AEW. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's not the case with Riddle. Hopefully they do a good job. But this got a 0.5 Mookie Brothers for me. It didn't hit for me in any, but the whole storyline. I'm a guy that needs to get behind a story. I need a storyline to get behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need something that I can really be intrigued, or I'm going to be on my phone looking at Twitter. Like, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is, and that's what this match was. So 0.5 Mookie Brothers.
All right, I'll drop it down to you. Pull half a Mookie brother on this. Yeah, he needs to go against like somebody bigger next, like another
AJ,
bigger
maybe
star.
go back
like
against AJ.
Do a feud with AJ. Do something else with a bigger like name than Baron Corbin. I think that's what Riddle needs right now in the beginning, because we'll see that with Keith Lee. He's taking on Randy Orton later on in the show. So that's the stuff you kind of need for like a guy who comes up with a lot of fanfare behind him from NXT. Put him in a big feud immediately, or give him one feud and then put him in a big feud after that, something like that. So next match on the show, the women tag team title match: Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax versus the champions, the Golden Role Model, Sasha Banks and Bayley Dostraps. I don't know, this tag team is like weird, and then I just don't like. I just think I'm not a huge fan of Nia Jax. I think that's just what it is.
Yeah, you don't love Nia Jax. She's an Anoa'i family, bro.
Yeah, but I just don't know. I think there's just something about the way she her character, maybe. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not a huge fan of her. You know, I think Shayna was the real star of this match, and I think they did it on purpose. to make her the real star of the entire match. She did a lot going on here, taking on both competitors at the same time. At one point, Nia hurt her knee in this match, and that will play in a little bit later on. But it was mostly just Shayna Baszler doing her thing for the majority of the match. She really carried the entire match. I always find it funny when Nia does that swing against the barricade. She grabs Sasha and just tosses her against the barricade. I always feel bad for like Sasha and stuff because it looks like it really hurts her.
And Sasha's small, so it's like compared to Nia.
Yeah. You know, there was this one part. This is one of the things that bothers me about Nia Jax. There's one part where she picks up Sasha for a powerbomb. Sasha reverses into like a face buster, and Nia's like delayed reaction to her nose after the fact. Like you see her land, she lays there and she goes, "Oh, my nose!" After like, a couple seconds afterwards, it kind of just yells. Like, I don't know. It's just certain stuff that she does that kind of throws me out of it, and I just don't like about it. But interesting finish here. He has Shayna Baszler put Sasha in a Muda lock, a lower body submission, and at the same time she puts Bayley in the sleeper and makes them both tap at the same time. And you have new women's tag team champions, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. The celebration afterwards is kind of cringe, especially from Nia's part. I don't really know why she was acting the way she was acting after she won, dancing around and like screaming a lot. And it was weird. Like she kept bumping into, Shayna Baszler. So I'm not really sure what that was about. It was just very strange, very odd. And I don't know. I just don't understand it. But if I had to give this match a rating, which I obviously have to, I'm going to give it 1 Mookie Brother.
Okay, so the match was whatevers to me.
Yeah, the match was whatever.
Completely whatevers. This whole thing has been a mess. The fact that we're in a tag team championship match and the tag team was literally put together the week of the pay-per-view. Yeah. Just completely I could give 2 craps about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't care because what are we invested in? We're not are we excited to see Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax as champs? No. They were put together 5 days ago, and I'm supposed to care, so I can't get behind it. The match was kind of whatever. I didn't enjoy the match. I didn't like it. Your thing with Nia Jax, I understand, and I have my thing with Shayna, and it's not Shayna as like a superstar or whatever. I just feel the way they're booking her is wrong. Yeah. She's not, like we said earlier, she's not the person to be comical or part of a group or like doing promos. She's just a badass. The way they booked her in NXT. Also with Nia Jax, do you remember Nia Jax in NXT? She was a monster. She was unbeatable. She was a destructive force. I can go back and remember NXT UK London or NXT London takeover. You do remember that? That takeover was Bayley and Sasha and Nia Jax, and she was this huge monster that Bayley had to overcome, and she can only do it by sneaking a win because this big monster. If they booked her that way, it'd be a lot more interesting. You have 2 monsters, but you're booking them in this typical WWE fashion where they're trying to make a star, and it doesn't work. So this is why the match was whatever, and we can't get behind people that were put together 5 days ago to be tag team champions. So I did not enjoy it at all. I do like the fact that you can work the Bayley-Sasha thing going forward, where Sasha can blame Bayley for losing all her belts, and then that will lead to Sasha versus Bayley, obviously. That's where we've been going for months. I'm going to give it 0.5 again. Momoki Brother, just because of the fact that I can't get behind a storyline put together on Monday, and I'm supposed to care when they win the belts, and I'm supposed to get excited for it. It doesn't. Why? It's been literally 6 days, so I just don't care. All
right, fine. Half a Mookie Brother on that match.
Half a Mookie Brother.
Next match on the show: Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. Keith Lee's first pay-per-view match. His second match on Raw. He still has the terrible music. They haven't changed that. He's not wearing those weird, fluffy, like, open shorts anymore. He's wearing his regular shorts that he's been wearing, but he's still wearing a shirt. Now the shirt has, like, more logos on it, Limitless, Legion, stuff like that.
Vince doesn't like guts, man. That's what it is. He doesn't like the working man's body.
Yeah, he does not like a bigger guy like that. He just does not like it. He has to cover it up. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think Keith Lee was kind of odd because we're so used to him seeing him that way. And then now
but, like, Keith Lee's not your regular, like, big dude. He's, like, this just ginormous monster of a man, and he's got a gut. Like, it's fine. Like,
It is what it is. I mean, you see guys in the UFC, and some guys look like this guy looks really good, and the other guy has like, hey, he's pretty. He doesn't really look at his body, doesn't look all that great, but he's still like
I
really
still would have fucked with him.
Stuff like that. Yeah,
he's still huge. He's still a big guy.
Everybody looks different, especially in the fight game and stuff like that. So I mean, it is what it is. But whatever the case may be, we all know this is gonna be a very, very solid, good match, and it was. It was. Yeah, I'll go straight off the bat and give it you know, I give this match 2.5 Mulkey Brothers. You know, and a new star is born. Well, at least on the main roster now, because he's obviously a megastar in NXT, a double champion in NXT. He comes here, his first pay-per-view match, his first feud, similar to Kevin Owens when he first showed up, his first feud against John Cena. He beat John Cena, and here Keith Lee beats Randy Orton, a mega victory. You know, he powered out of the RKO, hit the Spirit Bomb, and beat him clean.
Beat him clean. Yep.
Yeah, powers up the RKO, his Spirit Bomb, and then that was the end of Randy Orton, right there. You know, but Keith Lee is a megastar. Now it's interesting to see what they do after this. Now he beat the guy who was facing the champion the week prior. So what does Keith Lee go on from here? I'm thinking maybe triple threat for that title. I can see maybe they put the title on Keith Lee quick. I could see that. I mean, I could see the next pay-per-view, which they advertised Night of Champions December 20th, but it's actually December 27th. They corrected that. December 27th, Night of Champions. I could see a triple threat: Keith Lee, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. And Keith Lee coming out of that with the World Championship. I could honestly see it happening.
I mean, I could totally see it happening as well. This is how you book, like we were talking about Matt Riddle, but this is how you book a star. Like, we know Monday, we didn't love all that happened on Monday with this debut. It was kind of like all over the place a little bit, but you know, whatever. He was in a feud with Randy Orton his first week. So you're going against the top guy of 2020, one of the all-time greats, Randy Orton. And to beat him clean in a pay-per-view your first time, you're automatically, you know, a star right now. Automatically, you're trending. Your stock is trending complete. You're Tesla as a stock right now. You're just going up and you're going up. So that's a great move by WWE. This is where you get it right, and you get somebody like Keith Lee who we can all get behind. Dude, there's something about Keith Lee. I don't know what it is, but just his mannerisms in the ring, the way he just walks, the way he carries himself. There's just like a star. There's something that you have to just catch to. He's the guy that walks into a room and everybody just kind of gravitates to, and that's the kind of person that he just comes off through the TV. I give this match 2.5 star, 2.5 Mulkey Brothers as well, just because the fact that, you know, again, there was nothing extra special about the match. I don't think that was the point of the match. It was just to get Keith Lee over and make sure Keith Lee looks strong. Keith Lee looks strong. He just beat Randy Orton clean, completely clean. Like, he beat him more convincingly than Drew McIntyre did last week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter for Randy. Randy can lose 100 in a row. It doesn't matter because he's Randy Orton. We know what Randy Orton is. Randy Orton is one of the greatest of all time. Whether you hate him or not, he's one of the greatest of all time. So just Randy can lose, but he'll still be great because he's Randy Orton.
Yeah. Interesting thing before the match, though, they had JBL meet Keith Lee in the locker room. And
this was weird.
Yeah, give him a card for a hedge fund, $1 million buy-in or something like that. $1 million, like, he said he doesn't have those kind of funds. JBL says if you win this match, you know, you'll be on the road to that because you're beating a legend. And if you don't, you know, don't feel so hard on yourself. Randy Orton is one of the greatest of all time. It's like a weird segment. I don't know what it was about.
It didn't add to anything.
It didn't really need it. But obviously, as a Star is Born on the main roster, he beats it's like it's equivalent to when Kevin Owens beat John Cena. It's the same equivalent. Now, with the case of Matt Riddle, he beat AJ Styles, but they just didn't capitalize too much on that after the fact because he was gone for a little bit. He had the issues that they're going around, so maybe that falls into it. But that's just
and it was a SmackDown. It wasn't a pay-per-view. It wasn't like a big time, you know, like again, SmackDown and pay-per-views are different. They're just different. Like there's a different vibe to it as well.
So it depends on what they do after here with Keith Lee. Does he interject himself completely into the Randy Orton Drew McIntyre feud? I don't know how long is Drew McIntyre out. They getting punted 3 times in the head. There's maybe a skull fracture thing.
Well, they said he had a jawline fracture.
Okay, jawline fracture. We'll see how long he's out for.
So we'll see what he's out for. So maybe this is the like the new food going forward, or maybe we take a month away from Drew.
Yeah,
and it's between Randy and Keith Lee, which would elevate Keith Lee to, you know.
And that's why I think the Night of Champions thing will be a triple threat match. And I can see Keith Lee coming out there with a championship because, like in terms of Kevin Owens, he took a long time for him to win a championship after that. And I think they dropped the ball a little bit on that. He was kind of stop and go after the John Cena stuff. So I think.
But he was also NXT champion at the time when he was facing John Cena. So
he was, but still, even after the fact, it was just kind of like it wasn't, you know, the hottest run after after all that happened. But 2.5 Mulkey Brothers for this match. Next match on the show, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, father and son tag team versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. We saw this match, a little bit of this match on Monday Night Raw, and it was cut short due to the fact of, you know, retribution. This is the full match. You got the full match out, and then Rey will face Seth on Monday to get his revenge on this. But this is a very, very fun and good good tag team match. I'm gonna give it 3 Mulkey Brothers just because there's a lot of high flying stuff going on in this one. But a lot of cool stuff going on here. A lot of Seth Rollins saying like kept calling this guy Dominic Mysterio a kid. Thank God Dominic Mysterio got rid of the hood.
Yeah, first thing I saw was like no hoodie.
Yeah, that thing was a disaster because every time he bent over, fell over, got up, he had to fix the hood. So they're probably like, you gotta get rid of it. It's terrible for TV. But this is a very, very solid match, very, very good. You saw Dominic Mysterio to 619, hit the frog splash. Cool move from Ray. Dominic kind of threw him and he slid underneath the rope and got like Seth Rollins into and flipped him into the barricade. So that's a solid spot right there. A little bit of a mix up though between Rollins and Murphy in this match. So Rollins picks up Dominic to throw him into the turnbuckle when he's prepping Murphy to hit him with like an enziguri on the outside. As soon as he throws him down, it's reversed. He hits the enziguri on Seth Rollins, and that causes the loss for Rollins and Murphy. A couple of dirty looks from Rollins towards Murphy after the end of this match. Yep. But it's cool because it's, father, son as a tag team. You don't get to see that too much. Yeah. And I think it's awesome. I really do think it's awesome. And then Ray now will take on Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw, to get his like final comeuppance on Seth Rollins.
This match got a 2.5 Mulkey Brothers for me. Very good match. I enjoyed the match. It had everything you can want in a match. I just, part of me just wanted to see the end of the feud at SummerSlam kind of just be like the big, I said that on Monday where I just felt like Seth needed to go somewhere else, and Seth it keeps Seth more of this, like this crazy cult leader. I just thought it would mean more if you just buried the Mysterios for a while. But I'm really super impressed with Dominic.
But I think that's why they kept it going, because how much Dominic impressed that night at that match. We got to get the tag team match out of it.
Yeah, I get that, but I just feel like for the long run of this Monday Night Messiah and this this cult leader figure that he was trying to be, I just think it doesn't help to him the next week losing to them. I don't know where, again, I could be wrong. They could come out with something amazing, but I'm really impressed with Dom. I'm, Ray's a Hall of Famer, one of the best of all time. Dom has a good little future in him. I think he's very talented in the ring. There's some little things he needs to work with, just facial wise and selling, but I thought he was great. But I don't know. Part of me just really wanted to grow this Messiah character into something bigger, and I thought just him destroying the family would make him a bigger, badder heel and just more of a psycho. That's just me. That's me personally about it. But great match. I can't complain. I don't know if I need to see him and Mysterio tomorrow. Him versus Ray. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's been a long time. This feud's been going on since after WrestleMania. It's at least since April. It's we're going into September tomorrow, or in 2 days. So it's definitely been a long feud. But I'm impressed with Dom, man. It's good. Hopefully Murphy doesn't get fired. We saw where Austin Theory ended up on NXT. Yeah. So hopefully because who's he gonna lead if he doesn't have Murphy? So he might get rid of Murphy. It might have.
We'll see what happens. This might end up leading to Murphy Rollins feud after this. We never know. Maybe. But I want to give it 3 Mulkey Brothers because it's cool to see a father and son. It's probably really emotional for them too as well. Especially Ray. Let's give it 3.
Okay, we'll give it 3.
Just because it's nice that father and son are in the ring together and stuff like that.
And it's Ray.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool stuff, man. I really do like it. But shout out to Rey Mysterio. Shout out to Dominic Mysterio for doing a really good job, really good work in the ring and stuff like that. Okay, so next thing on the show is the main event, and it's the most interesting match of the night because it's Roman Reigns' first match back. Now Friday Night SmackDown, the unveiling with him and Paul Heyman, that was unveiled, right? And then Roman Reigns said he's going to sign the contract when the contract is fixed to like his liking, where the way he wants it, he'll sign it. So, we kind of forget about that, right? So the match, it's supposed to start Fiend. I believe Fiend was the one that came out first, correct? Yep. And then he makes his entrance first, which the champion should never come out first. He comes out first. Braun Strowman just attacks him mid-entrance. So that the match kind of starts right there. They start going through tables. They go through the announce table. They start fighting by the ramp. They fall off the ramp through another table there. A lot going going on there. You know, interesting spot where Fiend throws Braun Strowman into the barricade, and Braun kind of goes like half over, but I guess they were like, no, you can't go over there because of the Thunderdome screens.
Yeah,
you know,
the LED. Like,
I
don't
find it kind of interesting, like how like they're
well,
not
like,
allowed to go over there. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably like $100 million worth of technology. Like, don't go fuck that up, idiot.
Yeah, it's like, no, don't go over there. He might forgot. He was like, oh, chill, let me go back.
Sure.
Yeah, but the most interesting. Okay, so this match is going on for, I think, you know, I don't know the exact time, but it's a good, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, and they go up to a top rope for a superplex. Fiend is gonna give a superplex to Braun Strowman. He hits him with a superplex. The bottom corner of the ring kind of collapses. Right? Right, so like only part of the ring. It's not a full like when they've done it before. The whole ring, boom, 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 collapses. It was like a quarter of the ring collapsed. The referee got thrown out the ring, knocked out, and then boom, cue the music. Roman Reigns' music comes on. He comes out with Paul Heyman and immediately signs the contract.
Paul Heyman in tow, contract in hand. Reigns just signed the contract for the championship.
Mid-match on the ramp, which, you know, it's probably void at that point because the match has already started.
You would figure, but
Yeah.
it worked. It worked.
It worked. I mean, this is full heel Roman Reigns. Not only does he come out mid-match, sign the contract mid-match, he comes out with a chair and beats the living hell out of Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
First, he tries to pin Fiend, kicks out. Tries to pin Braun Strowman, kicks out, beats him up with chairs, all stuff like that. Then the Fiend hits him with the mandible claw. Roman goes to the low blow, gets out of the ring, comes back in, spears Braun Strowman, and he pins Braun Strowman, and your new Universal Champion after only a week reign by Fiend. The Fiend is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, your new Universal Champion. Heel Roman Reigns, along with Paul Heyman, could be a devastating duo. Could be really, really interesting.
Excited.
I know people are gonna be like, "Oh fuck," you know, Fiend. They only get him set up for a week. They should have just had Strowman win or some shit like that, or not even finish that match. I don't know, but I think it's fine. I mean, really, it's Fiend is more of a character than anything. He got the win already, so and he didn't take the loss here, so he can even continue this feud out with Roman.
And he lost to Goldberg, and he's still interesting. So
Yeah.
what does this do? Nothing really.
Yeah.
Come on.
Now this, I thought this was, you know, the match, you know, it's nothing crazy. It's just super cool the way they did that with Roman, because this is shit you were waiting for Roman. This guy comes out mid-match, signs it on the ramp, which is probably fucking illegal. And I mean, makes the contract void at that point.
No way does it make any sense. But you know what? If you're a heel and Paul Heyman's your fucking advocate, and I'm sure they'll say some shit on SmackDown like, oh, well, we found this in the whatever, and like you could play that shit off. I thought it was great. And the whole time I'm like, wait, man, what's going on? Is this a singles match? Did I miss something on SmackDown? I'm like, did I just completely fuck up? Like, what did I watch? And I'm like, the whole time I'm like. Now I'm interested to see how the match can be a no holds barred, but it has to end in the ring. I don't understand that. Like, it's no holds barred, but not false count anywhere. But whatever. It's all right. Like, let's not overthink it. Let's just have a good time. That's what we overthink it sometimes. It's made up shit. Like, come on.
Just because Roman came out, the match was what it was. But Roman coming out and doing what he did and signing it midway, I'm gonna give this one 3.5 Monkey Brothers just for that, because Roman heel is what I'm talking about. I'm all about it. So I'm interested to see what happens after
this got 3.5 Monkey Brothers for me as well. I mean, I thought this was all like I loved it. They had me like, I was looking at my phone, like just looking at Twitter, like did I miss something? Like, why is this only 2 guys right now? Like, what's going on? I was gonna call you, like, what's going on? Did we miss something? There was the last video like completely wrong. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he just comes out and he's just signing the thing like a badass, like, all right, I'm in this match. Like, it's kind of like the Money in the Bank, like, Edge thing. You know what I'm saying? He just came in like, oh, okay, I guess we can do this. Whatever. It is what it is.
Super heel move. Yeah.
It's a super heel move. And like Paul Heyman just holding the contract at the top of the entrance. You're just like, fucking Heyman, man. God damn it. You're just going. And no, it was great. And I'm like, this would usually piss everybody off, but I think most people are just like, We've wanted to see Roman a heel for so long and just do something different, and this is what we never got with John Cena. Yeah, we never got him as a heel.
Like, be honest with you, it would piss people off if he didn't just come back. If he had been a heel for a little bit of time and then does this, people would be like, "Ah, it's fucking cheap." It's the fact that you weren't even sure he was a heel until Friday, right? Like, you're kind of like, is he a tweener? Is he gonna be a heel? We're kind of assuming he was. His allegiance with Paul Heyman kind of confirmed his heel turn.
Yeah, and then even then you're still like, is he though? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, is he just gonna be a badass now or something like that? But he's a legitimate heel by pulling that move. I mean, like I say, not only did he sign it mid-match, He fucking brought down a chair as well. He did a
Yeah.
low blow, and then he just took advantage of the whole match.
He did as many heel things as you can do in the 5 minutes that he was out there. I loved it. I thought that was like so smart, so well done, and I'm starting to think the reason why this Payback was literally a week later, which I can never remember back-to-back pay-per-views a week, was just to get this in there. Was to get this whole Roman thing going, and like, man, the sky's the limit right now. SmackDown is a much watch right now, just because of this.
Yeah,
this is awesome. I loved it. I was like, dude, they gave it, and we called it. I mean, we said we could really see Roman being champion like after tonight, and boom, here he is, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited. It's about time. We never saw us with John Cena, a heel, and now we're kind of getting what could have been with John Cena. And I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, real son of a bitch Roman Reigns is right now.
Yep, I love it.
The Big Goose is the new Universal Champion. That's our recap review. It'll be 3.5
Wait, and there was no. I saw none of this crap.
None of that.
I saw none of this jerking off his wrist. There was no jerk off wrist the entire time. I was loving that.
None of that.
No stupid Superman punch.
And none of the thinking this in the corner. Right? Yeah.
No, because that's babyface bullshit that sells fucking stupid gloves or whatever the fuck he had on.
None of that shit. So thank God we got rid of all that stuff. We got a heel Roman. That's our recap and review of Payback 2020. Appreciate you guys for watching. Watch our, stay tuned for our Monday night, Raw takeaway that will drop the day after Monday Night Raw. Appreciate you guys for watching.